In order to experience a life of freedom, the boy ruthlessly threw his biological parents and sister into a 40-meter deep pit in the forest. The parents repeatedly tried to let their daughter climb up first, but the smooth walls provided no footholds. The father had no choice but to beg the boy to let them out. However, the boy's cold and ruthless gaze made the family of 3 completely despair. From then on, their eating, drinking, and bodily functions all took place in this narrow space. They couldn't understand what reason had made their son become so mentally disturbed and cruel. It turned out that due to Teddy's declining grades, he was often criticized by his teachers and parents. Therefore, his parents strictly controlled him. Every day, apart from eating, he could only study. He was not allowed to sleep in, play games, or have an early romance. But Teddy saw that the 3 adults in his family could do whatever they wanted without anyone restraining them. Thus, Teddy felt it was unfair and gradually became mentally distorted. One day, he accidentally discovered a deep pit in an uninhabited area of the forest near his home, so he drugged his family's meals. After they fell asleep, Teddy threw his parents and sister into the pit. When the drug wore off, the 3 woke up groggily and found themselves thrown into the cold pit, with Teddy nowhere to be seen. They finally realized what had happened, but they couldn't believe Teddy could be so ruthless. At this time, Teddy was using his parents' phones, imitating their voices to call friends and colleagues, using the excuse of a long trip to get out of all work and appointments. Then, without a driver's license, Teddy drove his father's car and sped on the road. He also went to the bank and withdrew a large sum of money. Finally free from restraints, he slept in every day, ate junk food for every meal, and played games all night with friends. After a few days of indulgence, he remembered that his parents and sister were still imprisoned by him. To avoid starving them to death, Teddy took his own leftover food and threw it into the pit. His father questioned Teddy as to why he would do such an absurd thing, but Teddy left without a word, cold and indifferent. The poor parents and sister could only use this leftover food of unknown age to replenish their strength. One day, Teddy's aunt couldn't contact his mother for several days and anxiously came to the house to look for them. Teddy pretended to be calm and said that his parents had taken his sister on a trip. The aunt still detected something was wrong from Teddy's flustered demeanor, so she immediately called the police. Unexpectedly, Teddy had already locked the door in advance. The aunt and the police searched the surrounding area but found nothing suspicious. Not far away in the pit, the 3 people were already on the verge of starvation. They had no idea the police had come. As the days passed, Teddy began to feel that life was particularly lonely. Seeing that the money and supplies on the card were about to be used up, Teddy began to miss his past life. He wanted to eat his mother's cooking and missed the feeling of having his parents by his side. So Teddy unconsciously walked to the mouth of the pit and saw the 3 people in a half-dead state. Teddy finally felt a little reluctant. He suddenly wanted to let his parents out, but he knew that his parents and sister must hate him to the bone now. He dared not imagine what he would face after letting the 3 out, so a plan began to form in Teddy's mind.